months. Call 1-844-537-2999.
Get the best deal in mobile. Switch to Spectrum.
You are loved. You are valued. You are resilient. You got this.
You are there for them. We are here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
It's 8 o'clock. Breakfast is being served at Ellen's downtown.
I'm Carla Leal, and this is your Spectrum News in 90. Block allowing gender-affirming care for trans Texas teens for now. SB 14 banned gender-affirming care for minors, but the ACLU sued over the law. Well, the judge says this law violates the Texas Constitution. Texas filed an appeal against the decision. And a new Texas state law takes effect next week, requiring school districts to have an armed guard on every campus. But many districts are struggling to staff up. Dallas ISD is still about 100 officers short. The NASA SpaceX Crew 7 mission blasted off to the International Space Station early this morning. 4 astronauts are on board, representing 4 nations and space agencies from across the world.
The big headline for your Sunday is a cold front, especially west and to our southern tier. Into your Monday, 96 degrees, still a very slight chance. Tuesday drying out, but staying in the 90s. I'll tell you how long it lasts coming up.
Hello, thank you for joining us here on Spectrum News 1. I'm Todd Boatwright. Well, as another school year begins, districts across the state are still looking for ways to keep kids safe. In Dallas, school bus drivers are using new technology to enhance safety. Emily Pounds shows us how it all works.
Thousands of students rely on school buses each day to get to their campuses, and a groundbreaking initiative is turning heads at Dallas ISD. Thousands of students across Texas rely on school buses. At Dallas ISD is ensuring families are well informed about their children's bus routes and stops.
So this actually comes off so we can take it with us and walk.
Meet Tamara Del Bosque, a dedicated bus driver for 9 years. She knows the ins and outs of her route like the back of her hand. Getting a glimpse inside her school bus, she gives an up-close look on how the app works.
We can pull up indefinitely, like where they are, how we can find them, how fast they're going.
Del Bosque goes on to demonstrate how the mounted tablet on her dashboard allows her to input safety-related information, creating a more secure and transparent journey for the kids.
And they want to be able to say, okay, my kid made it to school. And they're able, it's just peace of mind to give them so they can see that their kids made it to campus on time.
According to Texas Department of Transportation, in 2022, 7 people were killed, 105 crashes involving a Texas school bus. Driver inattention and speed were the top factors of those crashes. Hyman Sandoval, the visionary overseeing the transportation department, sheds light on the driving force behind the revolutionary move.
Gives us more robust data, which we're able to utilize with our drivers and to be able to track our students. It's all about improvement. It's all about efficiency. It's all about making things a lot safer for everyone.
As the wheels of change keep turning, the app bridges the gap between parents, drivers, and educators for the future of school transportation in Texas.
Now, meanwhile, Austin ISD officials will meet this coming week to approve its plan for armed guards in schools. Earlier this month, the district's School Safety and Security Committee presented a plan to have on campuses. District leaders say they still need more than 80 officers, and for now they will have officers split their time between the campuses. Other school districts already have their armed guards in place. Justin Honore takes us inside the private security company stepping in to help schools in North Texas.
The clock is ticking before school districts across Texas are required to have armed security on their campuses.
McKinney's got their contract yesterday. Mesquite got their contract yesterday. So we're in the process of filling these 2 spots now.
Charles Hollis, the director of operations at LMP Global Security, has been working around the clock to fill the needs for armed guards. Right now, the security company has contracts with McKinney ISD, Allen ISD, Mesquite ISD, and Wiley ISD, asking for their services. It's up to Hollis and his team to find those qualified to protect kids and staff in schools across.
Comes in at 17. Wiley comes in at 13. McKinney has 9, and Mesquite has 37. So those are all their elementary schools. We deal exclusively with elementary schools. We don't deal with middle schools or high schools because those are usually covered by the police department.
Finding enough men and women for each district is one challenge, but making sure their qualifications go beyond wearing the right uniform is key when protecting a school.
That's the task that you have, is making sure that they fit the mode to be accepting or accepted by the principals and the faculty and the parents. So they have to have, they can't come across harsh or anything along those lines. They have to be we try to get them as polished as we can because they're in the front lines with children.
Even though this is a new experience, anything they might need in an emergency situation on campus.
Because ultimately, the bottom line on this is that the kids have got to be protected. Whether they use us or someone else, the kids have to be protected. There has to be someone in there to make sure no one hurts those children.
Meanwhile, some Houston parents are concerned over the new superintendent's directive for classroom doors to stay open at all times. Mike Miles says his open door policy creates a professional and collaborative environment which allows administrators to observe teachers and effectively coach them. Exceptions would be made for classrooms in noisy or unsafe areas or where kids are prone to run away. Another issue, as a lot of school districts are facing, that's vacant teaching positions. Austin ISD is an exception, with the district both attracting and keeping educators thanks to teacher raises. Back in May, the district approved 7% raises for teachers and hourly pay raises.
Nationally, there is a teacher shortage, but I will say Austin ISD has taken measures to really recruit and retain our staff and our professional development and our compensation, and we're doing everything we can to make teachers feel like they're at home here.
The Teachers Union Texas AFT says while the raises are a good start, they would also like to see improved working conditions like making class size smaller and giving teachers reasonable hours during work days. Coming up, Texas college students are also back in class. After the break, we head to San Antonio to see how UTSA is handling an enrollment boom. Keep it here.
Hey everybody, I'm Carla Leal. More than 750 new state laws materialized in the latest legislative session, and most go into effect this fall. On the impact these measures will have on the lives of Texans with the help of state leaders and residents from across the state. You don't want to miss it, so join us Sunday or set your DVR for all the details. I'll see you then.
Stay connected to Spectrum News 1 with the Spectrum News app. Stream your trusted team live on the go or from home. And stay updated on the local news and weather forecasts that matter to you. Spectrum News, your community connection. Weather can be beautiful and at times powerful. Our weather experts update you with the information and the context you need so you can better plan your day. And we do it every 10 minutes. Weather on the Ones on Spectrum News 1.
At Spectrum, reliability of our products and services. Now, we've taken a new step forward in reliability by identifying potential service issues before they become a problem. If you're affected, we'll contact you and help schedule a free service appointment with one of our expert technicians. The proactive maintenance of our network is one of the many reasons Spectrum delivers the most reliable internet speeds in the nation. Spectrum, keeping you connected.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
My dad started in the news business in 1955, so my dad was my idol. He was my mentor. I spent so much time in that world, I knew I just had to be a part of it. My life's purpose has been about informing, educating, and most importantly, connecting with people. It has been my passion to help people and make a difference in people's lives. I'm Brett Shipp, anchor, Spectrum News 1.
Wonderful to see you. Here is a look. Gregory sending this photo of our North Texas soils. So they are buckling under the pressure of this dramatic it's been with the spreading of those critical conditions and now even into western sections of North Texas and beyond. So we need the rain for sure. Also, we need a break when it comes to the temperatures. Usually we see the last 100-degree day around August 27th. Obviously that wavers just a little bit this year. I don't think we're going to make that mark. We need a miracle for sure. We're going to see a little bit of relief this week. High pressure making its way off towards the west. Behind that, we will see a trough move in, and with that, we are getting a bit of a cold front. It'll be weak, but it's something. We need the change for sure. Here's a look. Sunny skies for now, but we get more of those clouds as we go into your Sunday, and better temperatures. You can see ranging into the 90s. That's where we max out. We're going to see gusty winds of rain, mainly for the areas that need it best, out towards the west. So into the afternoon, then down towards the south, skipping most of the metroplex, but we will still hang on to chances even into your Monday. Here's a look at those totals. Trace values to about 1/10 of an inch off towards places to the east. We could see up to 1/4 of an inch. But here is a look day by day as we go forward. Nice to see highs only 96, 97 there on your Tuesday, Wednesday 98, and kind overnight lows.
As Texas college kids head back to class, UT San Antonio is making some major changes as the student population continues to grow. Here's Amber Hughes.
It's time to move into the dorms at the University of Texas at
chaotic just because it's like so many people moving in.
Manco Bocanegra is a resident assistant entering his senior year.
I have 46 residents.
He gets to help freshmen like Chanel Williams get acquainted with campus.
Just seeing the parking lot coming in, I was like, whoa, you have lines and lines of students. UTSA has definitely expanded.
It has become a destination school.
Lynn Barnes is the senior vice provost of strategic enrollment at UTSA. He says nearly 35,000 students are enrolled this school year, more than a 5% jump from pre-pandemic numbers.
A lot of success in many areas, academics, of course, our athletics, and I think just the success of our students has really propelled our growth.
But for some students, San Antonio is just a pit stop. Every year there's thousands of applicants who qualify for UT Austin admission, but there just isn't enough space.
Over the past few years, we've enrolled in the fall semester. These are students in the CAP program.
Chanel is enrolled in that coordinated admissions program. CAP students are forced to spend their first year at other schools in UT's system in hopes of transferring into UT Austin. A move Chanel is now reconsidering.
I'm starting to feel like really at home here. The campus isn't too big, but it's not too small, and there's so many great resources and opportunities here. So definitely starting to lean a little bit, but we'll see.
Ultimately, Barnes attributes UTSA's growth to the culture, multiple campuses, and valuable career exploration opportunities in the 7th largest city in the country.
We're trying to continue to grow and serve the needs of our community and the state.
Whether she stays home in SA or not, that just isn't Chanel's focus right now.
My dreams is to help someone get my schoolwork done and then maybe do Miss USA one day and become an attorney.
Well, it's no secret high school football reigns supreme in Texas. But as our Travis Raycheck shows us, for one Central Texas team, their coaching staff's dedication goes beyond the norm.
Get there. Same wires, we'll just tighten those wires today.
Ball, good. Come on.
Beautiful, awesome.
Scott Franklin likes being under the lights.
It's kind of living two lives. It's an orthodontist by day, which I love. I'm very passionate about that. When I leave the office, I put on my football hat, and it's football till 9 at night.
Years ago, Dr. Franklin decided he wanted to take care of teeth and started his own practice in Austin in 1996.
When I'm in work, I'm in probably a calmer, obviously unemotional, very cerebral mode. But I love sports. I love competition. Sometimes it takes a lot of energy and fire to do that I really can't do in an office setting. I just have to do it in a different way.
So a while back, he got that chance to be an assistant coach at Regent School in Austin. 16 seasons later, he's still there as the offensive coordinator and still doesn't make a dollar doing it.
I'm a volunteer. No one's twisting my arm to do it. I do it because I love it. You get to know these boys and you watch them grow into men. It's a really neat thing.
It's an enormous sacrifice, but one that the majority of coaches at Regents make. A staff of 19 is made up of mostly volunteers.
A lot of the guys, this is their opportunity to give back, and they love the game, and they love being around the kids, and the majority of the guys that are the older guys, at least, their kids played here or went to the school here.
Play fake for Franklin. Look.
Still, he stays.
I always say Friday night is a drug, and when those lights go on and that national anthem gets sung and you see those players, that nervous energy, there's no better feeling.
And we've got more high school football coming up. We will take a look at the biggest games from across the state of Texas after the break. Stay with us.
Here's a look at your Sunday forecast. We have triple-digit heat for most everyone, but as you look to the north, starting to see those 90s and a little bit of the rain. As we transition into your Monday, you can tell cold front comes in, will North Texas, and eventually into Central Texas and beyond. So I have good news when it comes to that 7-day forecast, all coming.
$16 teams, 15 grand. One tournament to decide who knows the most about separating news fact from news fiction. 1, 2, 3, that is correct, Jacob. The Spectrum News Challenge Tournament.
That sounds really awesome, man.
If you think you know the news, then it's time to take the challenge. Spectrum News Challenge, Wednesday nights at 8:30. Available on all your favorite devices.
When you buy Spectrum Mobile for just $29.99 a month, you get a second line for free. So get one line for yourself and a free line for your devoted friend. Friend for yourself and one line for your kid.
Sold.
Or both lines for yourself. I use one for business and another for business. I do a lot of business. Get one line of unlimited for $29.99 and get a second line free for 12 months. Call, click, or visit a Spectrum store today.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
We have one mission, and that is to serve our community.
We have reporters on the ground sharing what's happening within their communities. Also, more importantly, to know who it affects. We want to make sure that you know what's going on in politics and weather and entertainment. You're going to get your local news. You're going to get storytelling about your local community. Your evening on Spectrum News 1. Weeknights starting at 5 p.m. Central.
The lights of Friday night shine brightest in this state. Towns transform to stars of tomorrow, flashing their fresh potential, and powerhouse programs carrying on the tradition of those that came before them. It's a feel, it's a sound, it's a passion unmatched. It's Texas high school football, and we're covering the biggest games from Dallas to Austin, down to San Antonio, right here on Spectrum News 1. We have been building to this for far too long. The first Friday night of the high school football season. We are all over the state covering the biggest games, but where else to begin than a battle of defending champs in Dallas? Adam Rosso, take it away.
A high school game so big that they had to move it to a college stadium. Duncanville and South Oak Cliff each won state championships a year ago, and they met in a heavyweight bout in the season opener at a hot and steamy. Star power on both sides of the ball for this Duncanville team, and it was number 29 here getting things started. 4 plays, 4 Caden Durham touches, and a 68-yard house call for the LSU commit. Panthers rolling early. From one LSU commit to another, receiver DeCorian Moore, he's going to show you why he's one of the best juniors in the nation. This is a 79-yard catch and run. He gets past the defenders right here and gets all the way into the end zone. Panthers leading by a dozen after 1. This would be a dynamite night for Moore. We're going to the mid-second quarter now, and it's another huge score from him. This one a 71-yarder after a nice throw from quarterback Keelan Russell. Panthers all over the Bears early at SMU. Just before the half now, it's sophomore Austin Theus playing the supporting role to Moore at receiver. Another beautiful throw from Russell. Theus takes it to the crib. Duncanville really putting the 89-yard scoring strike, 6 catches to over 270 yards and 3 score. Duncanville rolls 34-13 over South Oak Cliff.
Man, this is the one I've been waiting on, just that connection with the quarterback, the trust from the coaches, the dogness from the O-line, man. It's just everything that we've been looking for, and we finally got it as a team.
That's a deadly weapon, you know what I'm saying? Go deep, go short. Like, he's just going to make a play happen anytime, anything. He's going to get the ball, go do something with it. He's just a special guy.
Let's send it down to Victor James in San Antonio.
Yeah, Adam, you can't get too much better than 2 San Antonio Powers and Johnson and Judson. Last season, it was Ty Hawkins' coming out party, but the Judson Rockets took home the dub. It was a back-and-forth shootout in the Alamo Dome, back-and-forth contest again, but with turnovers. Both defenses making key plays to stop drives all the way to the end. Senior wideout Michael Avery coughs up the pill with just over a minute left in the game, setting up another game-winning field goal, but this time
we preach about biting the ball. We preach about near foot, near shoulder. The receiver said, "Hey, I'm gonna go down and try to get some yak yardage," and our defensive back didn't back down from the challenge, and we were able to scoop in, recover the fumble. So we're just proud of him. I'm so proud of Noah. Noah's our kicker, and he had an amazing job, amazing squid kick. Before that, he had an amazing chip kick, and then he had a winning field goal there, and it's just testament to the young man and their belief and their attitude, and I'm just so proud of them.
Both teams combined for 6 turnovers, but I'm sure Johnson head coach T.P. Miller will take the win any way he can get it, Trav. Wow, what a win for the Jaguars. All right, we've got a showdown of Cedars in Central Texas. We're talking about Park hosting Ridge, two of the better programs in recent years, but two programs who struggled. The senior signal caller was doing it all, scoring on the ground, through the air. How about a beautiful play design on this TD toss to Joshua Pecky? He would finish with 2 touchdown runs and that TD pass. Tyler Wynn would add a score on the ground, and that was more than enough offense for the vaunted Black Rain defense. They were all over the field, creating turnovers in the second half, had a couple of picks, a fumble recovery, all helping the Timberwolves start the year off right. A very impressive win, 29-7.
I mean, I think it's obviously a great start. You know, come out, we score a lot on offense, defense gets a lot of turnovers, gave us great field position, and we kind of did our thing. I mean, starting off 1-0 is always important because, you know, we had a rough year last year, but are picking up and expecting some big things out of our team. I think we just realized how much more experience we have from last year going this year. We were a young team last year. We have a big senior class this year. I think we're just ready to go. We prepared really well for this week. The O-line picked it up a lot from this year to last year, and I think everybody's settled in, and we're really we're excited for this year. We're all pretty prepared for what's to come next. We're ready to go be Vandy.
Big one for Cedar Park next week as they will meet state finalists from last year and rival Vandegrift. All right, folks, week 1. Hope you had fun. We will see you next week and all season with big games from all stretches of this state here on Spectrum News 1.
A thriving community is an informed community, and being able to play a role in bringing people the news is something that I take very seriously. There's just so many things to love about the state of Texas. Southern hospitality, great food. I love that there are so many different cultures celebrated. I want people to turn us on in the morning and feel like they've got the information they need to go out and conquer their day. I'm Alex Stockwell, anchor for Spectrum News 1.
Spectrum Mobile is giving you 1 free mobile line when you buy 1 unlimited line for $29.99.
So I can get 2 lines for the price of 1?
That's right, for just $29.99. It's the best deal in mobile.
But is the service reliable?
Absolutely. Spectrum Mobile is super reliable, coast to coast. Get 1 line for $23.
All with no taxes or hidden fees.
Switch to Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for $29.99 a month and get a second unlimited line free for 12 months. Call 1-844-882-2999.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are connected, engaged, from the moment we rise. We move. We adjust. Relax and grow together so we're ready to build a better tomorrow. Stay informed throughout your day with the Spectrum News app, exclusively for Spectrum customers.
Weather on the Ones, every 10 minutes. Also available on the Spectrum News app.
Hello, Dallas-Fort Worth. Here's your Spectrum News in 90. The Biden administration is allocating $700 million in funding to help connect people in remote areas to high-speed internet. More than 10,000 rural residents and businesses in Texas should benefit from these funds. The Collin County District Attorney will not be seeking the death penalty for Billy Chermermer. He's the North Texas serial killer convicted for the murders of more than 2,000 people, serving 2 life sentences for murders in Dallas County. Dallas ISD is seeking an exemption to a new state law that takes effect next week, requiring all schools to have an armed guard on campus. DISD officials say they won't be able to hire enough security guards. Right now, they're short over 100 people.
Looking at the temperature profile into your Sunday, a big switch. We're not seeing the triple digits. We will stay to the 90s. Northerly flow throughout the day and actually isolated chances of rain. So we'll track it with you here in just a few minutes. I think you'll like the good news.
Welcome back. As extreme heat water source in South Texas is reaching dangerous levels this summer. Our Blessing Iwachuku has the latest on near record lows at the Edwards Aquifer.
Let's see what the current water levels are today.
Paul Bertetti has been keeping a close eye on the Edwards Aquifer for nearly a decade.
Well, I've been at the AA since about 2017.
Since then, he has seen the ebbs and flows of this vital resource for more than 2.5 million South and Central Texans.
It goes from Uvalde, Medina, Bear, Comtel, and Hayes, and a little bit of a couple of the counties on the south end as well.
Lately, he says it hasn't been looking too good.
You know, water levels are extremely low. We're in stage 4. Those restrictions don't happen very often. We have reports of people who have to refurbish their wells, deepen their wells, or deepen the intake of their wells to respond to the lowering water levels in the system. And that's not uncommon.
It's a drought that continued from 2022 and didn't even let up in 2023.
In all of the data that points to where we're headed, 2023 globally is likely going to be in the top 5 years of the hottest years we have ever seen. And those same scientists say there is a 50-50 shot that 2023 takes the top prize as the #1 hottest year ever recorded.
As we move into the fall and winter, weather experts say there could be a relief.
The evidence heading into El Nino is so strong. Doesn't mean that it rains the entire fall and winter. It positions us statewide to be better off in the rain department, and therefore, you know, being able to fill back up our lakes, our rivers, the Edwards Aquifer.
But how long will that even last when summer comes roaring back in with a vengeance? Last year, we're talking about the lowest in 4 years. This year is the lowest in nearly a decade. 2024, do you think it's just gonna another record? 24 could be just as hot.
Yeah, I can't wait for fall. Well, as drought conditions continue, Laredo has now entered stage 2 water restrictions. That comes as demand for water supply increases while water tank levels remain low. And residents are required now to reduce irrigation usage during this time. And they're not the only ones dealing with water restrictions. Our Justin Honore takes us to a small North Texas town for a look at water issues facing folks there.
Water restrictions aren't unheard of in a Texas summer. But in McClendon-Chisholm, a small town east of Dallas in Rockwall County, water is even more scarce.
Luckily, these yellow flowers, they don't need too much water, so they're not suffering too much.
Sean Hendrickson says for the second straight summer, he and his family are being forced to follow extreme requests. We have not received a response. According to the website, the city is in a stage 5 water restriction because of water shortages. In a statement from the Mayor Pro Tem Adrian Bolcom, she states city ownership of the RCH water system would ensure the lowest cost for customers, the most stable relationship with the water wholesaler, and the most transparency to customers. A resolution Hendrickson looks forward to being resolved, but worries this could be an issue which arises again.
I think the main concerning point is this doesn't seem like myself or the people that are in charge are going to be able to solve this in a matter of, months or even like a year. It's a few years down the road, I believe.
This extreme heat's also keeping Texas first responders busy. Our Veronica Barriga spent the day with Austin Travis County EMS as they deal with an uptick in calls.
Your best access to the head might be through it. It's pretty warm enough.
As excessive heat warnings hit the state of Texas, with temperatures upwards of 105 degrees plus high humidity, first responders in Austin are busier than ever. From battling quickly spreading flames to hundreds of heat illness-related emergency calls.
I'm Medic 3, and we're about to approach our destination right here, just a little bit ahead.
As we arrive on this, as Austin Travis County EMS medics tend to his aid. Calls like these are coming in strong, increasing by the hundreds compared to just 3 years ago.
Par, we ended June with 228 heat-related incidents, and that's at least the highest number in a month that we've seen in at least 3 years.
Now compare that number to last year at the same time. Captain Noack says it's been about a 43% jump. Whether you are working or just enjoying the outdoors, Commander Randy Chabra warns heat illness is very serious if left untreated.
If we don't do something right away, every minute that goes by where their temperature is elevated, they have brain cells that are being injured, that are dying. And they're going to have injury that's irreversible, that is going to leave impairment or have a negative outcome.
And with the hottest part of summer yet to come, Austin Travis, they are stocking up on tools of the trade.
So we have bags that are fluid resistant where we can immerse a person, so that we surround them in this bag, and where we can then put water and ice on top of them to start that cooling process immediately.
Ready to respond at a moment's notice.
The University of North Texas is launching new programs to help address the shortage of emergency workers across the state. Among them is a bachelor's degree in applied sciences for emergency services. That degree would help people seeking a paramedic or firefighting career. And still to come, we get a look inside a North Texas film studio to see how they're looking to attract more filmmakers to the Lone Star State. That story right after this. Keep it here.
I am most satisfied when I'm making a difference. I get to go to work every day and communicate with fellow Texans who understand that quality of life matters and the choices we make matter. And if they can trust me to share important information with them, then I am a happy camper. I'm Dr. Nicole Cross, anchor for Spectrum News 1.
From coast to coast, you've seen us around. We live and work in the communities we serve. Our commitment runs deep. We're invested here, creating good jobs and supporting small businesses, many of which we're proud to call customers. You count on us to keep you connected to what matters most. And we're committed to delivering you the best internet, TV, and mobile service. We're Spectrum, connecting the places.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
Weather can be beautiful, inconvenient, and at times powerful, and it affects everything we do. At Spectrum News 1, our weather experts update you with the information and the context you need so you can better plan your day. And we do it every 10 minutes. We're the calm in the storm, Weather on the Ones on Spectrum News 1. And get your weather anytime on the Spectrum News app.
Wonderful to see you. Here is a look. Gregory sending this photo of our North Texas soils. So they are buckling under the pressure of this drought. Let's go ahead and look at the conditions since the beginning of June until now, and you can see how dramatic it's been with the spreading of those critical conditions, and now even into western sections of North Texas and beyond. So we need the rain for sure. Also, we need a break when it comes to the temperatures. Usually we see the last 100-degree day around August 27th. Obviously, I don't think we're going to make that mark. We need a miracle for sure. We're going to see a little bit of relief this week. High pressure making its way off towards the west. Behind that, we will see a trough move in, and with that, we are getting a bit of a cold front. It'll be weak, but it's something. We need the change for sure. Here's a look. Sunny skies for now, but we get more of those clouds as we go into your Sunday, and better temperatures. You can see ranging into the 90s. That's where we max out. We're going to see gusty winds out of the north and a slight chance of rain, mainly for the areas that need it best, out towards the west. So into the afternoon, then down towards the south, skipping most of the metroplex, but we will still hang on to chances even into your Monday. Here's a look at those totals. Trace values to about 1/10 of an inch off towards places to the east. We could see up to 1/4 of an inch. But here is a look day by day. 697 there on your Tuesday, Wednesday 98, and kind overnight lows.
A conservation group in Central Texas is warning folks about the declining bat population. Our Dylan Scott takes us there to see the bats take flight and learn why conservation efforts are so important.
We're one of the places to see bats, to experience them, especially at the preserve like here.
As the resident bat cave steward,
less than a 1-lane highway for them.
Ben Taylor finds plenty of joy in teaching fellow Texans about this animal's vital place in the food chain.
How could they be so small and cute? Or how can there be so many? Or where are they going? What is their life like? And how are they important to us? And these are all questions I get.
In fact, bats have saved Texas farmers almost $1.5 billion in crop protection. Talk about a true,
especially for agriculture, for looking after what we enjoy eating, having bats around takes care of pests, keeps them at bay.
Organizations such as the Nature Conservancy have worked hard to preserve these habitats. This limestone cave in Mason County is among the largest female Mexican free-tail nurseries in the country. Millions of moms and pups under one roof.
They're sending out little pulses of sound, and they're listening for that echoes, and their brains can process all of that information really quickly.
With dinner and an upcoming tropical migration on their mind, a jaw-dropping bat NATO provides a glimpse into what ecologist and science project director Charlotte Rems says, from maternal instincts to strength in numbers, are a ton of commonalities.
Never gets old sitting here watching the bats and just thinking about what it takes for this many animals to live together. They're mammals just like we are.
And on that hunt, mammals are facing a pandemic of their own. Along with man-made threats like turbines and greenhouse gases, white nose syndrome, a fungal disease, has killed thousands of hibernating bats across the state, decimating colonies of a variety of species.
We can do a lot of good by spreading the word and doing our part for the bats as a whole.
Luckily, scientists continue to make strides in combating this rising issue. However, Taylor and Rems agree, even having this conversation is essential progress.
50 years ago, we didn't think a whole lot about bats, but to keep Texas wild, I think we're working together as quite a good community.
Got to save the bats. A 5-part docuseries about Texas parks is now available for free on YouTube. It's called Our Texas, Our Future, and is a partnership between HEB and an Austin film company. Each episode highlights different conservation efforts underway right now to protect Texas and parks. Meanwhile, in Dallas, a movie studio is getting a dramatic makeover in hopes of bringing more major films to North Texas. Our Michael Lozano shows us.
Here we are in the west building of Southside Studios, in its kind of main stage area.
When Stephen Dimmler realized Southside Studios was for sale,
I was seeing different scenes from my favorite movies, having worked on sets and produced films.
All he saw was potential.
What an opportunity. I sort of couldn't believe it hadn't been purchased and hadn't done more.
Dallas, Queen of the South, and The Chosen have filmed in this longtime production facility. But Demler and his company, Talent Entertainment Finance, want to up the ante.
It'll be 5 sound stages, varying in sizes from 20,000 plus square feet down to about 7,500. An 11,000 square foot virtual production studio with a huge 40 to 65 foot LED volume, camera packages, G&E packages, and about 15,000 square feet of actual props, not just space to store them. It'll be about a 5,000 square foot photography space, movie theater.
On top of state-of-the-art resources, they'll also finance projects that are filmed in-house. Demler, who's a longtime director, producer, and writer, says the latest $200 million state incentive package will be another boost.
We're going to make sure our fund brings work here.
Well, the city is famous for being home to the TV show Dallas and being the backdrop for a dystopian RoboCop film.
Everybody's still talking about the Dallas TV series from 40 years ago and RoboCop from 30-some years ago.
Dallas Film Commissioner Tony Armour says it's time to look towards the future.
The car rentals, the flights coming into town, there's so much that goes around a production happening that really benefits the area.
Armour says the multi-million-dollar upgrades to this studio will make Dallas the premier filming destination in Texas.
And Dallas hasn't had large soundstage space before until now.
Demler says the studio will be fully operational early next year.
And coming up, Mart, even a little kiss. The story next.
Here's a look at your Sunday forecast. We have triple-digit heat for most everyone, but as you look to the north, starting to see those 90s and a little bit of the rain. As we transition into your Monday, you can tell cold front comes in. We'll start to see those breaks into North Texas and eventually into Central Texas and beyond. So I have good news when it comes to that 7-day forecast, all coming.
The strength of Texas is in its many voices and unique perspectives. Every in Focus Texas. Education, economy, immigration, and more. Balanced and respectful discussion of the serious matters impacting Texas from experts across the state.
We take a closer look at the issues in your community.
In Focus Texas, Sunday mornings at 9:30 on Spectrum News 1, available on all your favorite devices.
So you're telling me this one-size-fits-all network upgrade is the best you guys can do?
Better than that. It's the only thing we do.
That's how we know it's right for you.
Aye, aye, aye.
Is that what I said?
No, I think you were okay. I think that's a yes.
We get it. Ask for the technology you need, and they call you unreasonable. We call you something else, our kind of client. So go ahead, be unreasonable.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. To get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
Little everyday conversations about the dangers of underage drinking can make a big difference in a child's life.
Today at Zilker Park, where folks from across the state of Texas are coming together for this.
At Spectrum News, we're committed to our communities around the clock, delivering stories that inspire and news that matters in your community. Our journalists are dedicated to bringing you trusted, balanced local news every day. And now, Spectrum Internet-only customers, you can watch Spectrum News 1 on your TV, connecting you to your community 24/7. Spectrum News, now streaming, exclusively for Spectrum customers.
Texans collect all sorts of things. We collect stamps, antiques, books, things like that. But one man's collection takes up his entire house and includes a little kiss. Check it out.
Steve Harris works for a local TV station, and on any given day, you'll find him at his computer. But when the workday is done,
I'm a KISS collector. This is my KISS corner with a K.
This corner is jam-packed with KISS collectibles, and all original. They span the years the rock band was at its peak in the late 1970s.
So they are the most merchandised rock band ever.
And Steve ought to know he's been collecting KISS since he was 14.
I firmly believe in surrounding yourself with the things that make you happy, and this stuff makes me happy.
And when you get older, you have a bigger bankroll and can buy more stuff. In this case, the good stuff, like these KISS dolls downstairs.
These come from around 1977, 78. So to have them in the original box, which I have some upstairs, is really a find for collectors.
And don't forget the stairway covered in KISS.
I have pictures with the band, I have pictures with Gene, some gold records, some autographs.
Between 200 and 300 biggest KISS collection in the world, but Steve says he's more about quality than quantity, like his most valuable piece, this KISS guitar.
And as you can see, this is a sticker that goes over the front, but there's also sound holes in this little guitar that usually those are punched out, and those are not punched out. So to have this in this condition is a really great addition, to this collection.
And worth more than $1,000. But you can't put a price on things you love. For Steve, it's like being a kid again, surrounded by his favorite rock band.
They were like superheroes. They had the costumes and the fire and the flash and the explosions.
And they found their forever home here. In fact, Steve will always have room for one more KISS collectible.
And here with us today is the man himself, the man behind the KISS collection. Steve, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate you bringing all your stuff in. So, we saw a lot of things during the story. You've got a lot of things here that we saw. Is there one thing or some things that you don't have that you're dying to get?
Yeah, there are a few things I don't have that I'm still looking for, and one of them is the belt buckles that you'll see on the front of this table here. There are a lot of those. I only have 3 of them.
Yeah.
So there's probably another half dozen of those I'd love to get.
Really? Why are they so cool? Why are the
well, they remind me from the 70s, which was my prime KISS years.
Yeah.
And they're made in a way. There's a thing on there we used to call Spectra tape, which was people used to put on cars and all sorts of stuff back during that time. Yeah. And it's just really cool. It's very nostalgic to me.
Right. And you and I talked a little bit about that, but not just KISS. You've got a whole bunch of stuff that you collect in your house.
Yes.
It's worth a fortune.
Yes.
How do you...
Well, for all collectors, this is really important. Your homeowner's insurance will not cover your collectibles value. And what I mean by that, if you bought a comic book for $0.25 and it's now worth thousands of dollars, when it gets destroyed, most insurances will pay you back $0.25 for it.
What you paid for.
What you originally paid for
it.
They don't appreciate the value of it.
Right.
So you need a special collectible insurance for that, and there are a couple out there to cover your collectibles.
So they'll pay the value.
They'll pay the value.
They'll pay you that $2 million, whatever your stuff's worth.
Yes, absolutely.
Now you told me too that back in the day, you're not close to the same age. We're KISS fans when we're 11, 12 years old, 1976. Yeah. You are a card-carrying member of the KISS Army. Then, what about now?
Oh, I am absolutely now. Yes, I put in my dues every year, get my shirt, my pen, and I'm still a member of the KISS Army. They're still cashing checks with my name on it.
Oh, there you go.
It never does.
So what would you tell some folks, I mean, you're an expert at this, who want to collect KISS, or they have some things in their attic they're not sure about? What do you tell them?
Well, I always say go with what makes you happy. Don't go with what is the most valuable or any of that. If you want the lunchbox and it's out there on eBay and you're willing to pay for it, I'd say go for it. If you have stuff laying around and you don't want it, there's a lot of people out there that will buy it.
Really?
There's still a lot of collectors out there, and if you go to KISS shows now, you'll see a really wide range of, it's not just a bunch of 6-year-olds like me out there, so you'll see a wide range of ages. So there's still a market for this stuff. There's still stuff coming out all the time new. So you can get KISS stuff that's really not that expensive, and it's just newer stuff.
All right. Well, Steve, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
And thank you for watching Spectrum News 1. I'm Todd Boatwright. Stay safe. We'll see you again soon.
The decisions elected officials make really have an impact on all of us. A big part of what we do on Capitol Tonight is break down the issues so that they're easily understood. We want to bring you a better understanding of local issues and the local with relevant, in-depth conversations that provide context for Texans in a balanced and informative way. Capitol Tonight, weeknights at 7 on Spectrum News 1.
They say the best things in life are free.
That's why Spectrum Mobile is giving you one free mobile line when you buy one unlimited line for $29.99.
Hey, so I can get 2 lines for the price of 1? That's right, for just $29.99.
Switch to Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for $29.99 a month and get a second unlimited line free for 12 months with no contracts. Call 1-844-537-2999. Visit spectrum.com/getconnected or Spectrum store today.
It's the best deal in mobile.
Free mobile sounds good, but is the service reliable?
Absolutely. Spectrum Mobile is super reliable, coast to coast.
Okay, but what's the catch?
Is it contracts?
No contracts, no catch.
Get one line for $29.99 and the second line is free.
All with no taxes or